You know, it's been a while since I've done any cool tech videos on the channel. In fact, the last one was done back in August 2018, so it's been a fat minute. I actually have 2 videos planned for you guys. Cool Tech Under 50, which you're watching right now, and then Cool Tech Under 25, which will be available in a few days. So make sure you guys have notifications enabled, that way you don't miss out. And I'll also drop a link to the video below if it's already available. Let's begin. This holiday season, get 30% off Wondershare Mobile Trends, who was also kind enough to sponsor today's video. Mobile Trends is a desktop application that helps over 50 million users transfer data from one phone to another. You can use Mobile Trends to transfer WhatsApp data between an Android and iPhone with just a click of a button. Just simply plug both of your devices into your PC and select which data you want transferred to your new phone, and then start the process. Mobile Trends also supports other apps as well, like Viber, Kik, and more. If you don't use any of those apps, you can still use the program to transfer data from one phone to another. So if you're switching from Android to Apple or vice versa, you can still transfer all of your data. On top of all that, you can also back up your phone as well. It saves all the data from your smartphone to the PC as a backup in case you ever need to restore everything back. Wondershare Mobile Trends is available on both Windows and Mac. And if you guys want to get 30% off right now, make sure to click the link down below. Starting off the video is quite possibly the most useful tool you can have around the home or office, the PowerGiant Mini Electric Screwdriver. You guys have probably already seen me use this during my PC builds, and the truth is, I love this thing. It is my go-to for everything, not just for building PCs, but for everything casual around the house. One of the things I love about the screwdriver set is the carrying case. It has this transparent cylinder tube that holds the screwdriver in place, making it super portable. You also get a full set of 55 precision bits that are separated into 2 compartments with magnetic lids. One side has the most common bits, like different variations of the flathead and Phillips head, and on the opposite side holds the other uncommon bits with a few longer heads and an extension rod, which is really useful in reaching tighter areas. On a full charge, the screwdriver can last up to 6 hours of on and off use with a full charge time of around 30 minutes. Now the good thing is that you can still use a screwdriver manually even if there isn't any charge left. Additionally, it comes with a magnetic work mat and a magnetizer. I gotta say, the magnetic work mat is awesome. It's really useful in holding onto loose screws. This comes in very handy during my PC builds and removes the need in having to use a separate container for them. The magnetizer is also very handy. You basically use this whenever you want to magnetize the tip of the screwdriver. This can be really useful in situations where you want the screws to magnetically attach to the head. Just simply rub the bit you are using on the part that says magnetize, and your screwdriver becomes magnetic, grabbing onto any metal pieces. Now let's say you don't want the tip to be magnetic since you're working with delicate electrical components. In that case, just rub the tip on the demagnetized section and the head no longer holds onto the screws. I want to be clear with you guys, this is not going to help you repair your car engine or build a rocket ship by any means. This is perfect for repairing electronics, building a PC, or anything casual around the home or office. This also makes a really great gift for your coworkers, your parents, really anyone. Speaking of perfect gifts, the Sega Genesis Mini is the next item on the list. I don't have to really explain much about this as my older audience already knows what this is. Growing up, the Sega Genesis is one of my favorite consoles of all time. I remember going over to my cousin's house every day after school just to play on this thing because we couldn't afford to buy one. Well, now you can enjoy some of the most popular games from the Genesis with the Mini version. It comes with a 16-bit console, 2 controllers so you can play with your sibling or friends, a single HDMI cable that needs to plug into any monitor, and the micro USB cable which is used to power the device. The Genesis Mini comes with 42 games total, including some of my favorites like Mega Man, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Contra. The best part is, you don't need internet to play. Just plug it in any display that has an HDMI port, power on the console, and start gaming. Now this next item isn't necessarily tech per se, but I had to include it in here as I'm sure a lot of you might find it really cool. This here is an AK47 miniature 1:3 scale model by the company Goat Guns. If you haven't heard of them, they basically make a bunch of miniature gun models that you can build, collect, and display. Now here's the cool part. These models are made really well with realistic moving parts. There isn't any cheap plastic here. All the guns are made out of die-cast metal and wood grain acrylic parts. It took me about 10 minutes or so to build a gold AK-47, and I gotta say, I really love the attention to detail that went into these models. Remember I said that they have functional parts? Well, the AK-47 can do a few things. You can unscrew the muzzle from the front, cock the gun by pulling back the bolt, flip the rear sight, and remove the magazine, which also holds up to 3 dummy rounds. It also comes with a stand after you're done building it, in case you want to show it off by displaying it somewhere in your home or your setup. If you're a collector or someone that's into guns, then I think you'll find this really cool. Funny enough, they actually have an M4 version, which I literally bought as soon as I was done with this one. So once that comes in, I'm gonna go ahead and complete it and then display it somewhere in my setup. Here's one for the Star Wars lovers out there, a First Order Star Destroyer Bluetooth speaker. Now, I was very skeptical at first buying this for the Cool Tech video because I thought this was going to be another cash grab product taking advantage of Star Wars fanboys out there. But when I got the product in, I wasn't disappointed. The sound quality is actually pretty decent. I mean, it's not going to be a high-end speaker by any means, but for the price, does a pretty good job. Now, the speaker itself is really light. It's made out of plastic and it sits on this removable clear acrylic stand with the Star Wars logo etched on it. I would say they did a pretty good job on the attention to detail of the Star Destroyer while keeping some of the buttons camouflaged. For example, if you want the Star Wars theme song to play, you can press one of the buttons in the back disguised as a thruster. On the left side of the speaker, you can find a micro USB port, which is used to charge the device, and a button that allows you to switch between the aux cable or Bluetooth mode. If you know anyone that loves listening to music and is a huge Star Wars fan, then I think this will make a pretty cool gift for them. Alright, up next is a few headphone hangers I found, starting off with the Corsair Gaming ST100 RGB stand. I included this one specifically in here for the people rocking Corsair setups. This means you can control the RGB lighting with the IQ software and sync all the lights together. The stand itself is built pretty well. You get an all aluminum construction with a bit of heft to it. Also, this isn't just a headphone stand. This actually has a built-in DAC with a 3.5mm analog output, which provides 7.1 surround sound, and 2 additional USB 3 ports, which can be used for either data transfer or charging. So these next 2 headphone hangers have been really popular recently. I've noticed them pop up on my social media feed, and I've seen them on a lot of setups. So naturally, I had to buy a couple of them to see what the hype is about. I'm not sure who the original manufacturer of this design is, but it seems like there are companies out there ripping each other off. These are both from 2 different companies with virtually no difference between them other than the color and the logo in the front. When I first came across this on Amazon, I thought they were one of those Dyson fans. You know, the ones without the blades in the middle. Anyway, so these are basically RGB headphone stands with a built-in mouse bungee. I guess a lot of people find it really cool, so that's why I'm featuring these in the video. You can cycle between 7 static colors or choose from a few dynamic effects or completely turn them off if you want. The mouse bungee is a pretty neat add-on, I would say, but I just don't see a lot of people using it with a headphone hanger, to be honest. Thankfully, you can remove it if you don't plan on using it, which in my opinion looks way better. Both headset stands also come with 2 USB ports, which can be used for data transfer and charging. Out of the black and white stand, I have to say the white one is my favorite. It just looks so much cleaner. Next up is the popular Razer Siren microphone. When I found out this was going for $50, I couldn't not include it in this video. This is a super tiny condenser microphone that comes with a stand that can be used to slightly angle the microphone. However, it can be mounted to a boom arm using the 5/8 inch thread on the bottom. I do like its very sleek and minimalistic design. It doesn't have any buttons or knobs on it. You just plug it in your PC and you are good to go. What's happening, guys? I'm TechSource, and here I am currently talking directly in front of the Razer Siren mini microphone. This is about 1 feet or so, I would say, directly in front of the microphone. No editing is done. What you're hearing is straight from the microphone plugged in to my laptop. So I'm gonna go ahead and move the microphone just a little bit closer to my mouth. Here is about 6 inches or so, still directly talking in front of it. No editing whatsoever. And if you guys want to do some ASMR, maybe get up close and personal, here is what the microphone sounds like about 2 inches away from my mouth. Things are getting a bit sensual here at this point, but I'm also going to say some words with the letter P to kind of test the pop filter of the microphone. Pootylicious, punctual, pumpkin, pretty, pootang. Now, the most popular position of microphones is usually behind a keyboard, but the biggest downside to this is that it's going to pick up the key presses as you're gaming or, you know, whatever it is you're doing. So here's what the microphone will sound like if you're, you know, playing with the keyboard. So So as you guys can hear, it definitely picks up the key presses, and it can get quite annoying depending on how loud your keyboard is. So especially if you're using blue switches, this is not the ideal setup. Because the microphone is so tiny, I would recommend putting it in front. So here's what the microphone will sound like behind the keyboard. So definitely a lot better than before. You guys know I'm really hard on Razer because I think that they have a lot of products that are overhyped and overpriced. But when they do come out with quality products once in a while, I gotta give credit where credit is due. I think the Siren Mini is an awesome mic for gamers and or streamers on a budget. You get exceptional clarity with crisp highs and deep lows. For 50 bucks, I'm impressed. And they even have a white version as well, which is cool. While we're on the topic of sound quality, let's take a look at some speakers. Red Dragon is no stranger in the budget market of peripherals. I'm sure you guys have heard of their gaming keyboards and mice before, but I bet you haven't heard of their speakers. These are the GS520 RGB speakers. Design-wise, I think they look pretty cool with the brushed material in the front and accent lighting. It doesn't look too cringy or like they are trying too hard to cater to the gaming market. On one of the speakers, you can find dedicated volume controls and a power button that controls power to the speakers. But if you want to control the lighting, you would have to touch the top. You tap once to change the lighting between 6 colors, either red, blue, or green, or select from 3 different dynamic effects. In terms of sound quality, it's nothing audiophile grade by any means. They do sound good for the price, and that's about it. They don't get super loud, and at max volume, they do get slightly distorted. Starting with the CPU, we're going with the new Ryzen 5 5600X, a 6-core, 12-thread processor. This is AMD's new Zen 3 processor with incredible performance gains over the last generation. We're looking at an average of 20%. The only people I can recommend these to are people using laptops. I feel like these will make really great laptop speakers. Also console gamers who are relying on the built-in speakers for their monitor. This will be a nice upgrade for you guys. Wrapping up the episode is something for the ladies, or anyone that likes the color pink. Let me just first say that I was shocked when I saw the reviews of this headset on Amazon. Over 6,000 positive reviews for this thing, so I had to check it out for myself. I do want to say one more thing actually. The color on this headset is nowhere near the color shown on the actual Amazon page, which is a bit of false advertising. I thought I was getting a hot pink headset, but in reality, it's this faded pink instead. And I find it hilarious that they wrote this lame disclaimer on the bottom. Please know that the real color may be slightly different from the photo shown on the website because brightness of your monitor. What? That has nothing to do with anything. First of all, I'm using a color calibrated IPS ultra-wide monitor from LG. You can't fool me, bro. They are straight up lying to people. Anyways, back to the video. Design-wise, it's not a bad-looking headset, but I guess it depends on who you ask. It has a self-adjusting headband with decent cushions and a built-in flexible microphone. One thing I have to mention is how light this headset is. It honestly feels like I'm wearing nothing when I put these on. It also has this mild ambient noise canceling feature, which is pretty cool. I mean, you can probably still hear your dad giving little Timmy the belt next door, but I would say it does a pretty decent job on blocking out the background noise. The headset also comes with a remote to mute the microphone and a 3.5mm adapter, so you can split the microphone and audio into separate channels. Here is a quick sound test using the microphone on the Somic G951s. This is straight out of the headset without any editing or filters. And that is all the cool tech I have under $50. If you guys enjoyed the video and want to see me bring back the series, then make sure to smack that like button to let me know. And also let me know in the comment section which of these was your favorite cool tech from the video. I'll drop a link to everything mentioned below as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in the next one.